Helping us to further unpack this is Professor Dumisani Mabunda, Security Analyst and Associate Professor in the Police Practice Department at the University of South Africa, or UNISA. Professor, it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much for your time. So what was your assessment of Deputy Chief Spies' evidence detailing how the rival factions within the department leading to inaction against the guilty parties, as you've just heard, as well as an overall toxic work environment where even if they did report some of these matters, they were simply sidelined or furthermore ignored?
Yeah, good afternoon, Alicia and the viewers. Listening to Commissioner Spies' testimony today was shocking, to say the least. The culture of impunity that he and his colleagues who were at the wrong side of this group of officers who were instrumental in committing crime in the Ikuruleni area is disturbing. We are still going to hear more witnesses, but so far the witnesses that have testified both in this commission and the ad hoc committee seem to confirm what General Kwanazi outlined on the 6th of July 2025. We are yet to hear witnesses that will say something different than the witnesses that have already testified.
Professor Spies also expressed the disbelief that a controversial and allegedly fraudulent memorandum of understanding, or MOU, with the CAT VIP protection actually still remains in effect till today. Now, honestly, Prof, we have to ask ourselves some serious questions that deserve urgent action as well as answers, like why?
Yeah, you see, Alicia, if the corruption has infiltrated an organization, it takes a while to clean the system. As long as some of the people that were working with these identified criminals are still in the system, we will not be able to sort the issue. It means that those fictitious contracts or MOUs will continue to be used until the whole system is overhauled. But I do not see the political will to do that, because in law, there's no place for a vacuum. So meaning that the agencies that are infiltrated have to find an alternative mechanism while they are systematically dismantling the corrupt system that we have come to know till this far.
And what's also of grave concern there, Professor, is that if we're delving deeper within what Spies testified to, Prof, and you also having expert knowledge in terms of police practices, let's look at the powers that the department currently enjoys, right? Are you getting a sense of overreach, or maybe even the lack of actual understanding of what these officers are allowed to do in terms of their duties and or powers? It seems like there's a lack of understanding right across the board as to who's supposed to do what and answer to who.
Yeah, they say power corrupts, and especially when you place individuals in positions where they have no experience, because they are trying to protect their turf. Anyone who's trying to discourage them taking wrong decisions are automatically seen as enemies, and this is going to be a learning curve for all of us to make sure that people with experience, relevant experience, are placed in strategic positions to avoid what we have witnessed so far. In various organizations, there is what we're calling head hunting. If that is going to be the case in terms of overhauling the systems, starting from the police and other government agencies, so be it. And also the issue of benchmarking around South Africa to see how, for example, the intelligence agency is operated in those areas. Countries like in Botswana and other countries, how they deal with these agencies which handle sensitive information. Because what is happening right now in South Africa, it appears that the intelligence agency was so much infiltrated that there is very little left of that agency. You look at the countries like Russia, this entity is a no-go area for corrupt elements. So perhaps the government should send a delegation to those countries that are doing well in terms of protecting agencies that deals with the security of the country.
And what are some of extra needed reforms, Professor? I know you've just spoken to one by making those examples, if we can take, of course, examples from other countries, but what are some of those much needed reforms to address some of these, of course, challenges that we now understand are actually unfolding within these various policing departments?
Let me hasten to state that it's not every police that is corrupt. It's not everyone in the agencies that they have to deal with security in a country that are corrupt. They are very good men and women in those situations, but when we start uprooting the corrupt elements, that will be a good start. And also, I want to state that this committee, Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee, were given permission to issue preliminary recommendations, which I hope that when they land at the president's office, they will be implemented while the commissions are continuing, because there's already a rumor that they will not finish these investigations within the allocated time, so they will need extension. So it may take longer, but the country is at a crisis mode at the moment. We cannot wait for these two structures to conclude their work before we start implementing some of the recommendations. Yes, those who are implicated will still have the right to challenge what has been said about them, but those who have already testified, I think it would be a waste of time and resources to allow them to come and try to counter what is said about them.
All right.
Everyone is given an opportunity to state their side of the story.
Absolutely, Professor. Thank you so much for that meaningful engagement there. Professor Dumisani Mabunda, security analyst, they are weighing in on the Madlanga inquiry outcomes today.